Good evening. Happy Tuesday. Happy Arcfall. Let's go ahead and jump right in and take a look at what we've got in the game right now. So I've got an outpost running. I started that. I don't know. That's supposed to have been close to 5 hours ago. A little bit over 5 hours ago. So that looks like that'll be done in about 45 minutes. Give or take. This is one of the new epic or one of the new elites. I can do a 66. I can't finish all of the waves. I can do a 63 and finish that out completely. So I went down to a 60 elite. The 60 elite is, I would say, roughly on pace with what a 63 normal one is. Now, I didn't do any upgrades on the outpost building or anything either. So I think I'm going to make a run at the 63 next. Just doing my mining stuff today, I was able to get enough helps. So I got the Unity event completed. Able to complete the Outpost Conqueror event. Which there's directives there. More elite directives. There's some control cores. More elite directives. So there's one free start there. And then 2 more starts in the paid battle pass. So there's a total of 3 elite starts in the paid battle pass. I was kind of hoping that they would throw some Sigma Fleet Commander credits out. I did get Cisco. And to unlock his Fleet Commander ability, it needs to be rank 9, so it's going to take a little bit. But a lot of this other stuff is locked behind getting Fleet Commander to rank 5. And in order to get him to rank 5, he's taking the Sigma credits already. So just from what I've been able to do from like the gifts and the one day of the refinery, I was able to get that up to 640. So I'll be able to get that up to rank 5 tomorrow. But rank 5 isn't the need for the Fleet Commander ability. That's going to take rank 9, which is going to take several days of refines to actually get at that level. But we can start working through and kind of get some of these epic ones unlocked in the meantime. Or not epic, the always on abilities knocked out in the meantime. Can add into some combat things. There's other mechanic things. The outpost ones can start working on those. So those are always on abilities for the outposts. I don't think I'm going to spend a lot of credits on anything in here. Basically up to the point of I want to get this rank 9 And I don't want to be down a lot of skill points. I want to have the skill points I need to be able to get that opened up. All right, we'll repair that one. We'll call these ships back since they're all full. Full or close enough to full. And then we'll look at the regular events. So for Outpost, we have a Defender SLB. Basically just any of the wave defenses. Bonus points for having Fleet Commander Cisco in slot 1 of the command center. I found that the points broke down pretty decently. So like the level 60 elite wave is more points than the 63. That's kind of why I started with the 60, because I figured I wasn't going to be technically down any points by starting the elite one versus doing the 63 that I would normally feel comfortable doing. So I'm hoping that the 63 elite is about roughly where I need to be, because then I won't have to do too much upgrading or anything in the meantime. There's an alliance leaderboard that's based on the same scoring. And then there's a heroic SMS. They have a specific level that you need to be able to attack to be able to score the points in here. That's going 21 rounds deep. That's roughly where I was going with the normal ones. Like this one would take 66s. Defeat one basic retaliation attacker. So it's 10 plus 1. Because my minimum is going to be level 66. So 22. So that'll require about 30 of regular 66s. 33 times 2 is 66, or about 10. 10 of the elite 66s. I think that's definitely worth trying. There's a hostile hunt SMS. There's an SMS for ranking up Fleet Commander Cisco. That's 2 days. There's an SLB for upgrading Fleet Commander Cisco. Points for unlocking. Well, this is just general Fleet Commander stuff. Con Lorca Cisco. Fleet Commander XP. And then the Sigma Commander credits. So I'll be able to score some more points on that tomorrow. Part 2 events, we have our normal mission Key Hunter. We have new missions SMS. Have an AMS for the mission keys. That is looking like the same as the last couple. That's a very familiar officer spread for what I've seen for other ones. Not too fantastic, but not bad. Let's see, Anorax and Quasi. I couldn't remember his name. Esri on the overflow, I'm guessing. No Esri. That's fine. We get her in the regular battle pass thing. We have Battle Pass Overflow, Outpost Battle Pass Overflow. Is that what it's supposed to be? Or is that a glitch? If that's the way that it's supposed to be, I love it. I might actually put that one on. I didn't look closely at any of the Discord things. Let's see. Vengeance. They added Fleet Commander Cisco, so spending Sigma Commander credits into the scoring mechanic for the Vengeance event. Still have Uncommon and Rare G6. Uncommon and Rare G7. And then the Outpost Control Center upgrade cores. Regional leaderboard. I don't remember if that was a regional leaderboard. It must have been a regional leaderboard before. Same scoring mechanics. March of Progress. We have Tech Tuesday. Have our daily events. We have a hostile hunt here. There's a ship upgrade SLB. That's awarding. That's not very much. Awarding Syndicate XP, but not at a level that's tempting. So let's do Tech Tuesday. Get some Q's trials out of the way. I gotta check Fleet Commanders because I don't know if I have Janeway seated. I do. So we can make those a breeze. Oh no, we've got the thing. Go, please fix that. I needed a third button on the HUD for the... I need something here for Q's trials still. I don't really need the Outpost one. I don't mind that it's there, but I would much rather have the Q's trial one if I had to choose between the two of them. I didn't see how many trial bills that I have. I probably got a good jump on this just for the fact of doing Suliban Hostels and the Outpost. Wow. Swarm and then Freebooter. They're really laying the challenge down thick. Okay, I'm gonna go send these out to Transigen again. I could never have enough of the rare. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. Because I'm doing double pulls on it, but... Actually, pull at least one officer in. Hold at least one officer in for doing outposts. I didn't know exactly. I didn't remember. I didn't think that there was going to be one that was taken off of the bridge too. I thought it was just below deck, but that would explain why I didn't make the full 10 mil. I don't think it did, at least. No, it didn't. Have an insufficient quantity of officers. I'm gonna laugh every time I try to go to the Q's trial button. Did they do something with this? Because that was all the Q's trial. Went to something really easy. Maybe it's just RNG. Or maybe it's just the backwards of the normal bug where they only give you the really, really, really super hard enemies. I'm glad I'm not trying to do this with the cube. I'd be a little bit mad because I wouldn't be getting any cube charge. Because I normally use the cube just to be able to do the beam on hostiles as I'm going along, just to get the little bit of technological distinctiveness. I know it's not a lot, it doesn't really add up to a lot, but I figure for all the Q's trials that you run, I mean, even if it's one component at your next tier up, it's still a good thing. Alright, so that's my last trial bell. Okay, there's a tough one. Alright, do I have more trial bells here? I do, perfect. Like I planned it. I got lucky with the pull out of the X-Borg store the other day, so I figured I'd have plenty today. The giggle that is me realizing that I have to go inside of my station again. I have to remember to hit the red one, not the yellow one. Red good, yellow bad. Although I'm probably pretty close to being able to hit the yellow one. I probably can now. Because I should be able to do that with Tal on my Crenshaw. Alright, so that should wrap this one up. Yes. That is wrapped up. Alright, let's take a look at the event calendar. Let's make this an appropriate size. Oh, that's weird. Let's do this a different way. So I need to put this into Discord. All right, so then I should be able to share Discord. And we can kind of see just the general look of it, at least. Might not be able to read everything on the stream, but I've got it in Discord if you want to take a peek at it. So it's got the events laid out. I think this is a pretty easy to digest format. It's got the regular events that run every day across the bottom here. And then it's got the mission, the arc events across the top. Nothing too surprising here. I see that we got Ferengi Exchange Pass coming back. We're doing Cosmic Choice for the spend events again. They're not listing one for every weekend the way that it looks. And then, yeah, just more upgrade Cisco, do outposts, hunt faction hostiles, do more damage against do damage while defending an outpost or at the outpost, crit damage against the outpost. All pretty straightforward stuff. It looks like a lot of copy and paste from last time. We've got Chronicle of the Ascendant starting next week. Yeah, it's a pretty good event spread that they've got planned out for us. And that's going to be in the Discord. Ooh, I don't want to have that one posting to... Okay, I'll have to double check that command. That command looks a little funky. Oh, I didn't realize that was all bugged out now. All right. So Outpost is going. Hostile Hunt we've got to do. Fleet Commander Cisco, gonna be waiting till tomorrow to finish that one off. Vengeance, I might do some stuff for that one tomorrow. Tech Tuesday's done, and then the other Hostile Hunt. All we got to do is do our regular hostile stuff, and day one events are pretty well complete at that point. It's another one of the fairly late days. How far can I get to Kaskari? Ooh, that was the Veil. So I can get the Kaskari to the 69 system. I can get a jump start on that while we wait for the next 20 minutes for, well, what was that, 15? Next 15 or 20 minutes. Have the big ships free. I accidentally started a regular 60 outpost before. I had it planned out so it would have been done like, I don't know what it would have been, like 2 hours ago, hour and a half ago. But then I went back and looked at the points and I'm like, I wasn't scoring the points that I wanted for the elite. And I was like, okay, that didn't make sense. So I went back and looked and I was like, oh, well, it helps if the outpost that I chose was the correct one. Just a slight mistake there. I'm not used to warp times again. The Crenshaw and the Cube both have the jumping abilities, so I've gotten used to not having to wait for the warp out to here. Oh, that reminds me, I had intended to... Or did I? I don't remember if I put Giorgio on my cube. I had that set up for Kaskari, so I was doing one of the Kirks. Which, I mean, having morale isn't a bad thing. No, I did swap that over to Giorgio. Okay. Yeah, having morale isn't a bad thing because then you get like the hull repair or shield repair regen or whatever. Whatever you get from Starpath research. Shield repair. And then I also have one of Khan's abilities set up. Oh. Game crashed. I don't know if I've ever actually had the game like straight up crash like that before. Or if I have, it's been a long time. Outside of memory, at least. Well, let's try that again and see if we can replicate it. Okay. Yes. Apply morale if the opponent is burning. So my thought process behind that is that gives the opportunity to get a little bit of shield regen. Because most of my loadouts are going to have some sort of a burning on it. Most of them. Because I'm going to use the cube for a lot of things still. But if I ever get to the point where I'm going to start using just exclusive or fairly exclusively the Crenshaw, then I'll swap that one over to whatever the Hull Breach one is. I wonder how many of these 68, 69s it's going to take to spawn a 70. I'm guessing other people have been up here hunting and have the system pretty well spawned out of 70s right now. Maybe I can get a few of them knocked out, so when my Crenshaw's free, it'll actually be able to go to town on them. Well, I guess if I come back up here with the Crenshaw, I'm going to go to the 70 system, not the 69. Oh, there's one. Ooh. There we go. That'll put us up to 5 out of the 50 that I need. And those surveys are sucking these transigen nodes dry so fast these days. I don't know if I have the hull to be able to get up that far, but there's only 2 server ticks, so that wasn't too bad. Got a little bit more hazard resistance in the Crenshaw than I do in the Kaskari. So it's a noticeable tick that happens with the Kaskari. Nope. Alright, let's take a look at this and see how many. That's 2, so we got 7 minutes. That's fine. That was only like a 4.5, 5 minute warp. Let's do warp speed efficiencies. Was I in? Okay, I was in the first one. It won't be a significant time difference, but it's like 2 minutes in the system. It'll give the alliance mates, or give these ships some time to get back to base, and give the alliance mates a little bit of time to send helps for the repairs. We got a total of 7 70s. That's not that bad, actually. That was more than I thought I was going to be able to get with Kaskari. I just figured the time and system was gonna be short because of the hazards. I didn't even think I was gonna be able to get that much. You know, if we get this wrapped up quick enough, I might swap in a little bit of Pokemon. Either that or go grind out some Augment Exiles. I just did my Epic Refine earlier tonight, and I got that down to like 0. Got to go do some Silent Hostels. Those need some restocking. I could use Zindy. But we got Zindy tomorrow, so I'm not going to be too concerned about that. But I noticed I used the last of that up last night. I didn't use my time between arcs very wisely. I usually stock up on things so that I've got the I got the ability to go all in if there's any heavy grind or anything like that, but it doesn't look like there's gonna be because it's mostly gonna be passive outpost stuff again. Which I do not mind. But I can send one ship to do... I can send one ship to go do Silent Hostels. Probably my cube. I can send the Crenshaw to go do the normal dirty work of FKR dailies. Well, Bed and Rom specifically. I'm raising up Romulan reputation right now. I've got to get the lock on that one. So I haven't been doing Klingon dailies other than mining. I don't have enough discipline to not claim the faction dailies for the Klingon and the Feds, honestly. It's too hard to pass up getting the credits. Because it's like, there's never really enough. You never have enough of those credits, faction credits. I don't know if it's going to actually pay off to have extras around when I go into G7 territory, but shouldn't hurt, right? Might not bring a lot of benefit, but it shouldn't bring any negative. Then again, it could also possibly come in handy for G5 scrapping. Yeah, one of the bigger reasons that I'm actually hitting these hostiles in between is it can interrupt the damage check for the hazard system. Because you don't take hazard damage when you're in combat. So my theory is the longer that the ship is active and engaged in battle, the more hull that it should be able to have. And then kind of linking these hostiles together, you know, like if they're close enough, then you can technically get away with not taking any hazard damage between your battles. So there's one tick. And it's such a significant percentage of the hull that I think that I take more damage for each tick than I do with each battle. Especially against these 68s. So the more active areas that you can keep your ship in, and the more combats that you can go in, gives you longer time in system and gives you the ability to hit more and more targets. It's like I'm lining up for this 70, but I'm going to hit this 68 over here. Because it's kind of going to get me a link down to it. And the hope is that I'm going to catch that hostile either on the way to that, or it's going to bounce off of it and come up towards me. Is it real? Does it matter? I don't know. Makes me feel like I'm putting forth my best effort, though. Because, like, I got a 70 all the way across the system. Like, at this point, if I tried to travel all the way across the system, my hull would be completely destroyed to the hazard before I'd even have a chance to get there. But if I get enough ships linking, I could technically almost make it. As long as it doesn't glitch out weird on you. See, that hazard tick got me. Alright, so that completed the Pinnacle Power hostile. We also got that hostile event done. So then all I have to worry about is my FKR daily. And knocking down some regular hostiles. I'm gonna try to get loot crew. And set this ship up to do silence. I should have looked to see. Doc is going to be on Kaskari. Put Dane on here. And then, no, I should put, what is it, Phlox? Phlox does the cutting beam efficiency. That's not grouped together like I thought it was. Yes, Phlox does cutting beam efficiency. Do I have enough to upgrade him? No. I hate that that's displaying so badly these days. Alright, so we'll bring this into silence. And then I'll speed this up. Speed this up. Set cruise for my hostiles. They're not doing anything, so I don't need them there. That's G5. So we'll send... Actually, that's not the right one, is it? No, it's this one that I have the hazard resistance for. While that's going... So kind of the same concept here. Gonna try to link the hostiles together a little bit. I got much better hazard resistance here, so I don't make as strong of an effort for it. But like for the most part, I won't turn down a hostile that's in between my ship and the next ship I'm gonna target. Well, that Koskari's being a little bit dicey. I feel like the more 70 or 69s and 68s that I knock out of the way, the better chance I'm gonna be able to pop up to 70, 71. All right, there's no 69s here, but 68s. Oh. Let's come back down to here. Too much time running across the system is not worth it. Oh, that cube filled up fast. I guess we'll go there. I'd be able to get this all worked out in one shot. I didn't look to see how many silence that got me. What was he at? 60k? So I'll do a second trip there. Because that'll basically give me a week's worth of pulls. I feel like something with those token request confirmations changed. I don't know if it's something that's actually changed or not, but the fact that I've made the same misclick a couple of times makes you think that they changed something with it. Or else my muscle memory is just completely failing me at this point. Which you could have just like reset one of the confirmation pop-up preferences or something maybe, but I don't know why it seems surprising that it's quiet in here, because every other time that I want to go hunt these silent enemies, there's always somebody in here. So I'm definitely gonna make 2 trips as long as it's quiet in here. Oh no, that thing glitched weird. It should be down here. It started to go. Yeah. See if we can get 3 ships out of no hull. Must have got all three. I'm not gonna make that server tick. Well, I made the server tick. I just didn't survive the hostile. And that should be full. Maybe not. Or it's a display glitch again. Different display glitch. Alright, full, perfect. Alright, so we got that repaired. That repaired. Go take a swing at Augment Exiles. I want to get at least one. Actually, I want to take a swing at the level 5 Khan's champion. Which is here? Let me unarchive that mission. So it's an explorer, so that's going to be a little bit of a tougher challenge. That may warrant trying to use the cube. Was that big of a faceplant? Ooh. That it was. So I was doing okay with like the level 71 mission hostiles, the mission bosses. So I thought maybe that would be a little bit easier. But this was a loss on... So I got good isolatic damage, reduction. I'm doing about a third damage mitigation. I mean, I guess that is technically like twice as strong as what those ones were. Probably after I get the TOS. Refit unlocked. And there's also the possibility of boosting. It could take a Cerritos and or Titan boost. But I'm curious if the mitigation will make a difference here. Oops, wrong button. So we did have the burning take effect at least. So it's actually less mitigation. That puts us down to about bottom. Which it's a weaker ship, so I'm not surprised. I think I get plenty of stuff from doing the level 4. I don't think it's probably worth jumping to the level 5s. Unless it makes a significant difference with the boosting. Did I blow past the Cerritos? No. I don't know why Cerritos always looks weird to me. I'm not going to do a max fortify. I want to make sure that I can do it with a regular fortify. Let's see. And I can also cloak. That would give me a little bit more mitigation and stuff there. I don't think it's going to tip the scales that much because I didn't even have like any kind of a damage impact on it before. But I always feel like it's worth trying. So we were able to get Tal to kick in this time again. We went an extra round. Barely dented the shields and stuff though. So that was able to raise mitigation a little bit, probably. So I was doing 3.8 million damage, and they were mitigating pretty much all of it. So even with the extra... Even with the extra dodge, I don't get a lot of effect. Yeah, that's probably just like a tier 9 type of thing. Not designed for tier 6, 7. Seven. All right, let's send transigen miners back out again. Yeah, these warp times seem like they're messed up a little bit. All right, Serene Squall's doing a lot better with a full crew this time than it did with a partial crew before. What did I pull? I don't even remember who I put on. Was it Una? Yeah, it was Una, so it wasn't even anybody that adds any like real ability. Pertusto, thank you for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. I'm Cottontail. How's it going tonight? What are we up to tonight? I see Star Trek Fleet Command. Were you enjoying the new arc? Welcome in, Giovanni. First time playing? Ah, elusive ad. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, it's kind of a fun game. It's we just celebrated the 7-year anniversary of it, so there's a lot of depth to it. So it gets to be really interesting when you get to experience some of that. Ah, thanks for the biddies. Yeah, it's been. Thank you for the follow, Giovanni. Yeah, we just celebrated the 7th anniversary this past weekend, so it's been a really great time. They've got a lot of things geared towards some of the lower level players. So, like some of the newer events and stuff, they kick off at like level 21. They kind of got like a 21 through level 50, and then a 51 through, I guess technically 80. But what'd you think of it? How was the first time experience? I know the tutorial can get a little bit long. Yet I've been playing for 6.5 years. I made it about 6 months in when I picked up the game. That's good. If you don't really have a depth of knowledge in the lore and be able to pick it up and enjoy it, that's a really good thing. That means that they've got a pretty good solid foundation. I think you probably pick up some things in Star Trek, like as you're doing missions and stuff. There's a lot of the interaction kind of throws in some of the lore and background behind it. But what kind of games do you normally play? Yeah, right now it's kind of in the middle of mining, just working through some of the missions and stuff that came out here. Certain characters that I'd seen before didn't know much about, so I'm learning quite a bit. And usually play Pokemon games, retro games, Overwatch 2, and Box.gg. Oh, nice. I've been dabbling a little bit in Pokemon Legends, Z through A, and I'm a Pokemon Go player too. That's another game that I've been playing for so many days. Hi, Big Booty. You haven't played it yet, but yeah, I don't know if if you're kind of like me, you kind of avoid some of the streams. Like, I watch just enough to understand the mechanics of the game, but not enough to really spoil the experience. Because I was getting ready to buy a Switch, and then they announced the Switch 2, so I was like, okay, I'll wait for that. And then I was gonna go buy Pokemon Violet, and then they were like, oh, there's a new one too. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna wait to see what the new one's like. And I saw some of the trailers and stuff like that, so I was like, okay, like that's looking pretty okay. Like, it's not quite Pokemon Violet, and I think I still may end up picking that one up, but um it's a solid game. I like it. It's the first one that I've done in quite a few years as far as like a console Pokemon game. You finally hit Op 71. Congratulations. I was debating earlier about when I'm gonna make the leap. Because I think I haven't really looked at what the payout was going to be, but I have a feeling that the battle pass is going to give enough stuff to get the Crenshaw up high enough to make it worthwhile to take a stab at it. Need to develop a crew to kill the new 71s. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a big requirement. I'm not going to push the button until I can comfortably kill a certain number. I just don't know how many. I think, like, as long as I can do the 10 for the mission comfortably, you know, like, I want to say like 3 trips. I feel like that would make it worthwhile to do the jump, but I'm not really interested in doing it one hostile per ship. Not yet, at least. I might get interested in it as I get closer. And then the JB cheese method. I think if I was gonna do the JB cheese method, I'd be able to get there now already. But because I've got a tier 7 Crenshaw right now. I'm probably missing some of the research that he had done. I held back a lot of research to keep pushing ops because I wanted to get to 70 to be able to get the vengeance opportunity, the opportunity for the vengeance chips. Tier 10. Yeah, I know at least tier 9 will be worth making the attempt. Because I'll want to get the that next refit. Whatever that refit is called. I'm gonna want to have that one. I think that's gonna be enough to kind of tip the scales on it. I've almost got the TOS D7 one unlocked. 10 more shards of that. Or does it count as a ship ability? It counts as a ship ability. Unwavering diligence, that's the one. I don't know if it's gonna be enough to tip the scale, or if just the TOS refit will be kind of that big of an impact, but yeah, it's definitely gonna be worthwhile. I was just making an attempt at the level 5 Khan's revenge officer thing. what do they call that? Khan's Champion. I made an attempt at that one. Did not go very well. It has about the same level, same level of damage as what the actual 71 hostiles do. I was able to do all the mission bosses up till having to do the 10 hostiles. You need to get PQ maxed and then Seska and think you'll be good. Yeah. Yeah, that's a big that's a big increase. I did good with Seska. I maxed Suitor and then Seska, I think I'm about ready to take to rank 4. No, I did take her to rank 4. So I just got Seska to rank 4. And then PQ. I'm about halfways. I'm past halfways. I'm about 2/3 of the way, honestly. No, he's not. He's not a Borg anymore. Where does PQ go? There. Yeah, I've got him at 629 out of 960. So it's 300 more shards. I had to stop spending the epic. Yeah, I always forget that it's not that. It's not that cheap to get him upgraded when it comes to credits. I always forget about that part, that he's got the hefty epic export credit thing. I'm stashing tokens though. I do have to start messing with officers because I still need to see the level 70s for the augment. It's a little bit out of reach for me right now. No, I don't want to do the Crenshaw. Crenshaw's got a light hull, or light cargo. Ignored him a long time because of that. Yeah. I think I did too, honestly. Well, I mean, I didn't really ignore him. Because, you know, like, the drips, like, what, 2 or 3 to 8 a day, depending on the RNG. You have all the epic G6 ships. I haven't decided if I'm gonna build a second one or not. I could do the Enterprise right now. I don't think I would do the Romulan one, Scimitar or whatever. Is that the Scimitar? I don't think I would build that one just because it's battleship and I don't know, cube. And I don't know how I don't know how long it would last into G7. Like if you go to 73, or yeah, if you go to 73, you get the uncommon ship. And then you know, like if that puts the G6 ships to shame, then I think that it'd be worth having multiples of them. But if it's kind of like what G6 was, if the uncommon doesn't really shine more than what the G5 epic did, then it'd definitely be worth it. Because then you'd be able to float those all the way to at least 75 really easy. Which by that time, you probably would be able to have a vengeance. And that might fill the gap in to get you to 76 just fine. I slightly conjecture at this point, though, because that doesn't really... That's not a known until people start getting to that point. So the right people start getting to that point. Not even worried at the moment about that ship. Well, I'm not worried about it either. I mean, it's just it's a bridge gap kind of thing. You need it for the same reason that you need the ISS Jelly. Is it can bridge the gap for you a little bit, or it has a couple of special events that pay a little something extra. If you have it, you get a bonus. If you don't have it, you don't really miss out on much. Currently. But I was going to hang at 70 for a little bit and get caught up on research and collect vengeance BPs, but I saw very quickly with the points that they're willing to give for G6 materials that it really wasn't a very realistic expectation. And then the sourcing in the outpost refinery isn't really that big of an improvement. I think that's probably got to be like the worst spend for the blunder. In my opinion, at least. If it was only like 400 blueprints, maybe it'd be worth it, but to get to 1,000 with that, I mean, that's still a lot of days. So currently all of mine is going into Cisco. Well, I'm gonna go into the Sigma Fleet Commander credits, and then going into the refit, the TOS refit. Which I'll have that by the end of the week. And then I can go to town on doing some upgrades on the ship. It wasn't too bad to get it up to tier 7, but now that after tier 7 it's starting to look kind of expensive, so I'm gonna hold off on doing any upgrades until I got that. Which should line up. It should line up for the event store or the vend event this weekend, if that looks lucrative. Those things have been a little bit hard to get. Anxious for, just because of the like the lack of. I feel like there's a lack of incentive when you're just getting the choice tokens, because it doesn't translate to a reward. Like if I see the officer charge that I'm going for, like it's a very clear objective, but when it's the officer tokens, it's harder to feel that same focus, that same objective. I mean, I think the choice tokens are way better. But it's hard to feel the correct value behind them. And that could be that there just really isn't any literal value. Let's see, is there 400k around? I'm thinking there should be one. There we go. Like, I remember that there was like 2 of them. But I think I've got like 40 vengeance blueprints right now. I kind of screwed up a little bit. I should have saved any of my French upgrades until I had the vengeance event up, because I probably could have gotten like 120 of them. It's a hard thing to remember to wait for. So I think if I line it up correctly, I can do like 1 research and then knock out a couple of ship components at the same time. And I think if I keep that up, I can probably get the first tier, the first milestone. I did nab a screenshot of the hostile crew that Samo was running the other night too. Probably Friday night. Must have been Friday night. Maybe Thursday night. where she was having some pretty good luck. Because she had a slightly different approach than most people had talked about that I've seen. So I think last time that I was up here, I got about half of what I needed in one trip. And I wonder if the loot crew might not be a better choice for future runs up here. At least swapping to something with like Walk Carol on the bridge or something. Get a little bit of extra splicers that way. But I haven't even really played with the Wrath of Khan crew much in general. I don't even know if there's like a true captain there. Oh, don't go the wrong way, Cube. I'm surprised with how often that thing starts shoveling in the wrong direction. I'm not gonna be able to get the cargo hold filled. But I am gonna be close to that 70,000 splicer mark. We'll go for that one. All right, that one bites the dust. One dedicated officer. All right, finish off the daily goals, run through the refinery. Maybe go do some Exborg. See if I feel that or not. I'm actually gonna go set transigen miners again. Just because I can't get enough of that stuff these days. Ever since I tiered up the squall, it's been hefty. And I do also need to go do a couple Krenum solos. That's a never-ending thing. Why do I still have... Why do I still have the outpost? I finished that. Hi, Stream Hub. How's it going? All right, let's avoid getting killed by one of these chasers. Oh, that made my heart skip a beat. Those things are lined up just perfectly. I don't know which one it is. Ah, that's one. All right, set up for Crenum formations. Those are invading entities. Those are not formations, not the formations. Solos. All right, set. We're gonna do anti-static. And those are these ones. None of those are making significant changes, so I'm gonna hold off. And we did anti-static. So I'm gonna set the relativity to anti-charged, and then just do like 3 of each of them. So we'll start with charged. $894 looks like the biggest. I've got to go check again. I can never remember this thing. Anti-static, so I need to go anti-charged. And that will cover both of them. That display glitches are back the way it looks about the ships doing random crap. I noticed that when I was in Revenant space earlier today. Must have been. It ended up being a little off. It looked like it was starting to do like the weird spinny thing. What's up, Bat? You down, Run? How you doing tonight? Oh, I got joined with that one. Just running through some Crenum solos before I send my ships back out to do a second outpost. Grinding down story missions, BP and daily was actually pretty quick. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it went by super fast. Like I hit go on one of the outposts during my lunch break, and I didn't realize that was like half of today's content was sitting by and watching one of those things go out. I didn't even see, did they release the missions? I didn't even look for them. Yeah, the first one. They're probably doing the 1 a week kind of thing again. I'm not opposed to that. I'm not a big fan of it either. Like, it's kind of nice to be able to sit down and run through them, but I never do them at the beginning anyways. I always like to wait till towards the end. I mean, mainly because I don't like to have to click through 60 ships to get a mission checkpoint. $828, $895 is a good one. I might try to put some effort into doing some kind of storytelling type thing with them. Like a narration with some decent voice acting behind it, maybe? I tried doing it last month, but it ended up being like super long video. Playing G4, but big account is 48, so planning on being 50 at New Year's. After epics are built, I'll go G5. Yeah, and then if you get it timed down right, you'll be able to go to 51 if you want to get into the new content. Because that jump between 50 and 51 can be as short as you want it to be. Okay, so that should give me pretty even amounts of the credits. Have me set for a week or so. $33 and $33. Perfect. I'll deal with that stuff then. Yeah, that's kind of at the point where I'm at right now. I'm sitting at 70, so kind of floating the concept of when to try to make the jump to 71. It's a little bit tougher just because of the change in the hostile strength is a little more significant than jumping from other generations, but still a lot of the same considerations go into each one of the generational changes. It's a matter of, are you ready for the new dailies? So I'd gone through all of these before. Oh, just a requisition. And I don't think I had the credits to do this turn in. Get my syndicate XP. ETI building stuff. Got my speed ups. So tempting to put everything into Seska. We'll wait until that gets a little bit closer to realistic. All right, set those for repair. Give the Alliance some helps opportunities. Got a pylum that's almost max. That's my main grinder till the 50 epics catch up. Won't take long. Yeah, you can do pretty far with that ship. Because that'll get you, at least when I had gone through G5, like that was pretty comfortable to be up to 53. I don't remember if the hostile strength started becoming the barrier or if it was just the warp range. I mean, you're probably already up in G5 space doing faction grinding anyways. Well, then again, Mirror Universe is a thing. I always have those little moments where I think back to like how my game progressed and thinking of the stuff that I used to have. Probably the warp range, because I'm already smashing 53s with it. Yeah. I think it was the 53 system being able to do the 54s was fine. I just don't think you could get the warp range to the 54 system. But that could have been from before Fleet Commander Kirk, too. So you might be able to get up to that next system and be able to hit like 55s, too. So many of the barriers that we used to have are not there anymore. It's kind of funny. It's kind of like even skipping, because it was always suggested that you'd skip the G4 epics, and go straight to your G5 uncommon. But I mean, at the way that it is to be able to source faction credits in the game these days, it's kind of a dealer's choice moment at that point. Ooh, Forbidden Tech upgrade. I didn't even think about that. Actually, how bad is the points on that? One through 3. That's pretty bad. I don't know if I have any Forbidden Tech that's ready for upgrades. That's tier 11. That's already upgraded. I can do Agony Booth. Agony Booth could use it. I don't have the catalyst. Maybe after going through the refinery, I'll have the catalyst. Most down level 60 Dominion hostiles, like they're free. Yeah, I still will actually break my pile amount to do the Cardassian armadas. I'm gonna need to go get... Oh, that's not the stuff for the redemption. I don't break out the G4 ship very much anymore, but every once in a while, like, there's certain loops where it's really useful. Like, even for the aggregation, I break it out for the aggregation just to get that extra loot boost off of that. Like when it's appropriate level for the hostiles, it's kind of hard to beat. Probably the ISO damage. Is that PvP or PvE? Straight up ISO damage, doesn't matter. Perfect. Yeah, there's nothing else like it I don't think there's anything else like it in the game. As far as like a lasting effect like that. Because I don't think any of like the G5 or G6 or even G7 ships, I don't think any of them have, you know, like an inherent hostile loot crew built into it. I mean, there's a little bit of stuff with like Forbidden and Chaos techs, and I think even some of the fleet commanders. You know, like, so you kind of make up for it a little bit, but it's still just that much extra bonus when you use it still. And the Pilum is a pretty quick ship. It gets around in the system pretty fast, which is nice. It lasted pretty good for, that was part of my 5-ship grind, my 5-ship faction grind, which was, where's G5? That 52 system right there. I used to move my housing to here and just run ships out of every dock and just pound on the hostiles. All right, I did the Mantis. Did the Voyager. I did the Forbidden tech, so I might have enough tier up catalyst to upgrade that one. All right, so that does it for the refinery. Ah, the ability on the Squall expired. I was surprised that that ship had died, but I always forget that it's got a 2-hour timer. I get more concerned looking at the hull than I get concerned looking at the timer. All right, so I stocked up on Silence. I stocked up on, well, I did a half a stock on Augment Exile. Stocked up on Krenums. Couple of days of each. Do I got any other loops I need to worry about? Can do the Meridian Archive. I haven't done that yet. I didn't see if that was part of the, if there was any missions or any events tied to that. Because usually we've had one for doing the archiving, I think. But it might be such an integral part of the game at this point that they're not going to be doing anything with it. So Meridian parts, cost efficiency, Meridian max cargo, Meridian raw isogen mining bonus, FKR protected cargo increase. So the only ship advantage is going to be for protected cargo. And that's refined isogen, isoemulsion, particles, and some normal resources. I don't see a reason to archive this immediately. So I'm gonna save that just in case they do something weird with it in the Ascendant event or something. I have a feeling like it's not gonna be something that they're not gonna do something for. I just don't trust that it's not gonna be something. The only officer there is Giorgio. I do have an admiral's recruit. I'd be a little bit sad if it was Mir Kira or Mir Picard, though. I'm not that sad, but I mean the PvP aspect of the game and like arenas and stuff like that's pretty good, but it doesn't compare to the PvE side by any means. I'm gonna have to do G6 solos tomorrow. A couple of them. The Vindicator is getting to the point where it can start doing those, so I've been using that. It's almost more of an excuse to actually get it, but I trained all of my IA currency, so I'm stuck till I get more. I stay pretty well stocked on it. I don't know how much it's gonna take to actually fully archive it. I guess I assumed it was the 5K. Which is about everything that I have. Because that's where it maxes out. But if it goes above that, then yeah, it's gonna take some extra days. All right. No, I don't need that one. I don't know why I'm still collecting the Enterprise A blueprints, but I still am. They're free, so I just feel like I should just as well grab them. All right, I gotta put an officer on this ship. That just drives me crazy seeing it red highlighted like that. All right, last check on events. Anything important looks like it's 2 days. Or more. Oh yeah. Forbidden Tech. I think I should be able to upgrade Agony Booth now. No, I'm still short. I'd hoped that I had gotten the Tear Up Catalyst, but I didn't. I might be able to get some in the aggregation refinery. That's only 140. I don't think it really exists in other refineries. No. Okay, that only gives you a couple hundred. I thought you were able to get like a couple thousand there for some reason. Amazon and UPS be killing me. Waiting on a motherboard and a liquid cooler, and they keep moving the delivery dates back. Ugh. Yeah, I ordered some stuff last night, and like it was showing Friday delivery, and then I went to checkout, it was Saturday delivery. I was like, okay. Like, it seems crazy to have like some fairly normal stuff be like 5-day delivery from Amazon. Like, I know it's the holidays and stuff, so like they're high demand, but still feels weird. If I would have planned this out right. If I would have planned this all right, I would have had swapped Cisco and Lorca. So I could use Lorca's fist. Because it'll take 30 minutes for the cooldown, I assume. I assume it's still a 30-minute cooldown for swapping Cisco around. I never selected that ability. Once 2 things get here, I'm going to finish the Threadripper build I'm doing. Looking forward to it. Yeah, getting a nice upgrade and stuff is always really nice. Increase shield HP. So I'm gonna get my shield HP increase. That's a pretty good tree. And then I'm gonna do my outpost retaliation chip damage thing. So this is increases Apex Shred against Cardassian outposts and the retaliation ships. I want the Borg one. Oh, that's not a selectable one even. Nice. And this one is Apex Barrier against players. All right, I'm gonna kick off an outpost. All right, this should be cube. I need to change that. Or who's the better burning officer? It'd have to be Giorgio. Yeah. I need to save. Well, I need to set the other crew. I need to swap the ships around too. That needs to be Cube. That needs to be Crenshaw. That needs to be my other outpost crew. Okay, so this one we can set. And then I need to try a 63 elite. They actually put a bunch of missions out for G4. There's like 5 of them. That's good that they're doing a really good job on getting the content out. Because I think that was a major concern for a lot of people when they started talking about, you know, upping the minimum levels and kind of like blocking things off to the like G5 and G5 under G5, like the G4 and under, and then the G5 up. There was a lot of concerns about the way that was going to get broken up. But I know it sounded like last month went really well for the events and everything. I don't even know if I have a start. I might have to pick up the battle pass. I don't know which battle pass. It'd be the Outpost battle pass. Oh, nice. That's all messed up. I think there was more than one start. I always get nervous when, like, I'm the only one in the system. Okay, I do have a second start. I'm a little nervous about this one. I'm actually gonna pull my Titan and Cerritos up here. Yeah, it was definitely different times for G4. They served up stuff that I actually needed. For ships that I was actually working on, I was like, wait, what? Yeah, no, that seemed like kind of like the big takeaway was like they, you know, like they were doing like a backfill, like a legitimate catch up type of thing. Totally amazing. Oh no, I have perpetual combat.
Thank you for being a friend.
And man, how's it going tonight?
Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the best.
How was your Star Trek? Were you given the new outpost, the lead outpost, any little bit of a try at all? Was good, good. You went to 63? Man, you're moving along quick. Were you able to build a ship yet, or is that going to be like next stream type stuff? Oh yeah, that's right. I'm gonna restart the game to see if the outpost will clear. I finished the 60 elite outpost earlier, but it's still showing as running. You're gonna skip till 68. Okay, that looks like that cleared the outpost. Alright, so I'm gonna give a Cerritos boost. I don't think I'm gonna be able to complete these 63s, but man, I really want to try it. Velox unless I get stuck. I like this solid strategy. I still haven't decided if like the G6 faction ships are really worth it or not. Like I kind of had some people suggesting that like the Selkies will still float you in G7 space a little bit, maybe. 3 parts in the Rataran is maxed. Holy. Yeah, that's definitely got you ready for going into that like 64 realm for sure. I have to remember to set the outpost abilities to upgrade them. I always forget that. Till I get like 10 or 15 rounds in, and then I'm like, oh, that would have been big. Went to 777 mil power. I suppose you had to do defense platforms and stuff to get there. Yeah, that always makes such a big difference in power. I love doing the defense platforms. You hit a wall with Cisco, I noticed. You can't unlock the Fleet Commander ability without buying a upgrade pack because of the Sigma credits. But you're able to get into some of the abilities pretty quick, and I see pretty decent value in the abilities, to be honest. For me, being as I'm going to be close to getting to G7, like, those efficiencies that he's going to give me is totally worth it. Okay. That went well. I don't think there was hardly any damage done to my ships. Oops. Barely a scratch. I have a good chance of being able to complete the 63 all the way through then. I'll be very curious to see if these ships are going to be up still in the morning. Because they've got my scoring starting out at 66. So, like, for the SMS, I'm not getting any points. For the heroic SMS, I'm not getting any points on that because I'm not hitting a 66 outpost. But I can't finish a normal 66. So I didn't want to go for a heroic 66 right off the rip. It'll probably be, like, beneficial still. And I'm wondering if I upgraded one of my ships or something. I need to upgrade the outpost. I already almost forgot about that. I'm gonna push this to 94%. And then cargo bonus. I don't care about cargo bonus. Morale bonus. Gain a chance to apply morale to your ship for 5 rounds. I don't mind that thought process. 10% chance of morale? Why not? Got Cisco. Yeah, the little bit of goodies that you get on there is always nice. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I think it was directives, if I remember right. Okay, so we get 780 common and 500 rare outpost control cores. All right, let's see how this retaliation goes. I'm gonna lose my Cerritos buff before it kicks off. I think that's gonna be close. Yeah. Hopefully, I don't need it. Ooh, that also only went a few rounds. %50 more mitigation against the cube. $25-ish% of mitigation. I did get Cisco, yes. So I just opened up some minimal stuff because I want to save most of my stuff for getting his ability unlocked. But I unlocked the max cargo increase mainly because that was prerequisite to be able to get the outpost fleet size increased by 1. So I just figured, it's cheap. I'll do it. First level research is always worth getting for the most part. And then I did the shield HP shield upgrade here. And then I did the outpost weapon damage. I did the first level of that one. And then I did the isolytic defense because I thought I was going to be doing Borg outposts, but I'm not doing Borg outpost. I'm doing Cardassian. So I think I'm going to also do Apex Shred against Cardassians. I started the wrong one here, apparently. I had intended to go against the Borg, but I ended up picking Cardassian by accident. Don't know how I ended up here. Shouldn't have been here, but I am here. And then I did the isolytic damage against non-armada hostiles. Just again, because that was prerequisite for getting the captain, the active ability thing. Dads. back. Yeah, I was saying, like, my ultimate goal is mainly just to get the hull repair ability unlocked, and then next secondary goal would be to get the +1 to fleet size. So I'm basically gonna do whatever prerequisites land on for those ones, because I think tomorrow I can do the prerequisite for this one. So I'll be able to get him up to rank 5. I wasn't able to get him up to rank 5 today. But I'll have him at rank 5 in the morning. And the Cardassian ones might be the way to go for me, to be honest. Because I feel like I'm having better luck against the 63 Cardassian than what I do against the 66 Borg. I like how they chose the look he used in the Pale Moonlight. Good evening, Excalibur. How are you? I have to look that one up. I mean, that would have been the episode where he flipped the script on the Romulans really hard, I imagine. That's the look that I remember. Because he was fighting his demons really hard and heavy. Even has the glass of booze in his hand. Yeah. Like that was one of like the most like, I wouldn't say like necessarily emotional, but you could feel like the heaviness behind that episode and the decisions. Kennedy have way bigger ships than me. I got Cisco for his other abilities. He's got plenty of other abilities for sure. Like there's a lot of good stuff here in general. But yes, they did a really good job, and you know, like it's possible even too, like there might even be a part of the episode where he has that same, you know, like buzzed out background almost too. Shield HP is looking tasty. I don't think you can ever have enough shield HP, to be honest. Like that's usually the limiting factor for being able to punch up. At least for me. Usually I run out of shield before I run out of hull. Well, I run out of shield and then I run out of hull. All right, so that last one, no, the next one will be without any of the boosts. Because my max fortify will be expired at that point. Yeah, it's just, I'm a little bit disappointed with the Sigma ranking up credits that they require you to use for them, but everybody's got so much of the other stuff stocked up. I guess it makes sense that they gotta They got to put a limiting factor in it, otherwise everybody would have had him set up at max level today. Just off of the stock that they have on hand. But it's good overall. It's good overall. I do kind of appreciate like new stuff like that that has timing like it's new. It would have been a little bit boring if he would have been, you know, like ultimately like just knocked out maxed 100% today. The Lorca, Khan, Cisco, Kirk, Janeway, Spock. I think that's probably what I have too, to be honest. Lorca, Khan, Cisco, Kirk, Janeway, Spock. Yeah. That's the same ones that I keep up there. I unseated 7 to put Cisco on. I mean, there's niches for them. You know, like if you're doing certain things, certain officers are going to definitely help. Sometimes it's hard to keep track of, you know, like Lorca's, or not Lorca, Sloane's ability for efficiencies on, I think his is doing the tech upgrades, and then 7's got the efficiencies for fleet commander credits. Yeah, remembering to change their skills is kind of a hard one too. I've gotten pretty good about, before I do like any serious upgrades, to go to like Spock's Club and double check and see where all the best areas of efficiencies are. And that way I can kind of maximize things. And then like, so I had everything set to Crenshaw, and then I was starting to upgrade my cube, and I was like, oh, everything's set for Interceptor and Crystal right now, but it probably should be set for Ore and Battleship now. All right, so this battle went 3 rounds. Ship lost minimal hull health. This battle went much longer than 3 rounds. Lost significantly more hull health. I didn't think the Max Fortify was actually going to be that beneficial. I don't think I'm going to make it all 72, but I have a feeling that I'm going to make it into the 20s. Artifacts and Fleet Commander is always checking now, really focused on Spock for Sigma. With his research and buildings. Yeah. Like the one that I slept on, I think was 7. I don't think I have hers maxed. No, I have hers maxed. Who had one? Lorca. Lorca has an efficiency thing that I forget about for ship components. And I had been sleeping on that one a little bit. I had focused on doing some of the other upgrades with him. And sometimes it's hard to remember to switch around some of the other officer ability or the other skills too for the correct ships and whatnot. Especially now that I've got different officers up here than I'm used to. Like Janeway. Janeway, I don't feel a need to have her up there for much. Like, she doesn't help a heck of a lot for more than just... she does the buildings too. But like, as far as like day-to-day combat stuff, like, she doesn't help a heck of a lot unless you're doing armadas. But I think it's better than... I think Locutus has some PvE. No, he doesn't there. He's got more armada type things. Sloan wouldn't be a bad one to be able to have up there. But like a lot of his numbers are like kind of outdated, where they're superseded with other researches so much. Like, I think his always on abilities are probably his better traits for the most part. Go back to Lorca. Which one did you want to see with Lorca? Which one are you going to tell me I'm missing? Oh. Gearing up Forbidden Tech. Oh. Yeah, that's one I probably should have been focusing on. He's not the only one that has that ability, though. Right? Somebody else has that, too. Wow. I just hate swapping around... I hate swapping around my fleet commanders so much that I just... I just don't do it. Because I was complaining that I had... I wanted to upgrade the Agony booth, but I was just a little bit short on the tier up catalyst. And... I don't know. What do I need there? 10%? 10% would be enough for me to be able to do it. And I think Sloan alone has the 10% that I need. Yeah, he's got 20. But I don't use them unless I'm doing PvP, because I only care about this tree. Well, actually, these two trees. Both of these trees. I like his hull HP and shield HP abilities. Those are the only ones I really get concerned about. Because for the most part, I haven't had too much problem upgrading the techs. In fact, I spent a bunch of it this past weekend. Like, I was loaded with stuff before. Well, all right, it's almost 10 o'clock for me. I think I'm going to call that a night. Let these outposts run themselves. We'll kick things on over to Major Samuel. She's just getting started for the night.